is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
I'm about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there will be anything. It will be me addressing you guys and telling you what's going on.
Though it seems like a scene taken directly out of a Hollywood play, the story that is about to be told is based on actual events in the little scandal-plagued village of Dolton, Illinois. Power plays that are close to the main culprit behind all of this is Chief Lacy, who has become entangled in Mayor Tiffany Henyard's relentless quest for power through shady transactions and treachery.
Very appreciative to receive the information today. We have the best mayor ever. I've been here since 1990.
While most of us consider small towns to be quiet, peaceful places where not much happens, Dolton is anything but. In fact, it has become the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. What began as a routine appointment for Deputy Chief quickly turned into a political firestorm, and it all centers on Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who wasn't just looking for a deputy chief when she handpicked Lacey. She wanted someone she could control. She discovered in Lacey the person she needed to carry out her orders and keep her firm hold on the village, but this is where things get interesting. Lacey was hired because of his allegiance, not because of his abilities or commitment to the position. Henyard wanted someone to uphold her contentious judgments without challenging her authority, and Lacey was more than happy to comply.
The judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from.
It's no secret to those who have been watching Dolton that Mayor Henyard's leadership has been dubious, to put it mildly, scandalous. She has been accused of everything from financial mismanagement and corruption to outrageous abuse of power. And the person standing next to her, protecting her from scrutiny, is none other than Deputy Lacey. However, Lacey wasn't merely an innocent bystander. According to the constantly active rumor mill in Dolton, he actively contributed to making sure Henyard's plans went down without a hitch during all of this. At all costs, whether it meant putting residents who spoke out in their place or threatening trustees who dared to disagree with her, Lacey's main duty was to defend Henyard, not the community. Lacey has always been Henyard's enforcer.
Firm, we made sure they had won, and we also told our board to come upstairs due to the fact they had several ways to exit out of the.
Even more remarkable is the way this duo operates in plain sight. For example, the episode where Lacey allegedly used force to get village trustees to back down from choices that may have revealed Henyard's dubious practices. Trustees who handle financial matters reportedly felt under pressure, with some even saying they received failed threats. Residents also noticed that Lacey wasn't exactly following the rules. Rather than keeping Dolton safe, it appeared his true responsibility was to ensure Henyard remained unchallenged. But wait, the financial dealings between Henyard and Lacey go far beyond political favors. This was about serious money. It was said that village funds were being misused for personal luxuries rather than for the benefit of the community. For instance, who in their right mind would spend over $30,000 on Amazon using public funds? That's exactly what happened. Henyard and her inner circle, including Lacey, allegedly went on extravagant spending sprees, treating public funds like their own personal piggy banks. And let's not even mention the $85,000 spent on a party. The amount was $85,000.
Tonight, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is suing some village trustees over Monday.
Not only did Lacey profit from the misappropriation of public monies, but Henyard also made sure her devoted deputy was well cared for, even if it meant hosting lavish dinner parties. Ostentatious presents or just money lying around, as is often the case with things that seem too good to be true, Lacey's inner circle privileges under Henyard's corrupt empire came to a screaming halt.
Thank our two trustees, Trustee Andrew Holmes and Trustee Stan Brown.
As you can see, allegiance in politics is erratic. As Henyard's wrongdoings caught up with her, her empire began to fall apart from within, and soon important insiders who had once been close to both Henyard and Lacey turned against them. More fuel was added to the already raging fire of controversy when rumors began to circulate that Lacey wasn't as spotless as he claimed to be and that he had engaged in tax evasion.
The judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would.
Following that, there was the legal fallout. Lacey, who had previously been Henyard's right-hand man, was now the subject of intense scrutiny as investigations into the misappropriation of public monies heated up, and his name began to appear far too frequently for his comfort. Both Henyard and Lacey were significantly more involved in shady activities than anybody else, according to court testimony and legal documents that began to accumulate. Had first feared when the walls closed in, but insiders said Lacey started to become unstable and was no longer the cool, collected person he had seemed to be. Instead, they said he began working with authorities in a last-ditch effort to save himself, and suddenly the once loyal enforcer started to sing like a canary. But Lacey's demise didn't stop with simply telling Henyard about it. His legal issues had only just begun, and he was facing accusations of civil rights violations, tax evasion, and misuse of public funds. The police union, which had previously backed him, even released a statement calling for Lacey to serve a life sentence in prison for his actions. His once dominant position had fallen apart, and now he had to deal with the full force of the law that we demand. One angry resident's comment summarizing Lacey's life sentence for civil rights violations perfectly captured the essence of the situation. It appears that Lacey burnt too many bridges and that the consequences of his unchecked actions are now catching up to him faster than he can handle. The community that once trusted him was now demanding accountability.
This lawsuit, on top of all the other lawsuits, is a waste of the taxpayers.
And keep in mind that everyone was wondering how Lacey was even sworn in. Was it a legal procedure, or was it just another example of Henyard's dubious activities? Rumors have been circulating for months, but no one has ever seemed to receive a definitive response. One fan even commented, "It feels like they just slipped him in under the radar." We deserve to know the truth, and the mystery surrounding Lacey's appointment only served to heighten the suspicion that pervaded the whole situation. I am aware that there was a previous query on how he was sworn in, but was it ever resolved? It was just one more loose thread in the complex web of corruption that Dolton had become. By the time the truth came to light, it was evident that Henyard's hold on Dolton was slipping. Her reputation was in ruins, and her once loyal enforcer Lacey was now facing charges of his own. It was a cruel fall from grace for both of them. Once thought to be untouchable, Lacey was now at the center of a controversy that had completely upended the village.
Can adhere to some financial limits. We're not looking to necessarily.
But the worst part is that this included more than just two individuals. The harm that Henyard and Lacey inflicted on the village of Dolton extended well beyond their individual fates. Their deeds, assisted by Lacey, had shattered the entire basis of the community's confidence. When it came to its leadership, citizens who had previously trusted their local government suddenly began to doubt everything. What was the extent of the corruption? And more significantly, how could they ever recover from everything that had been made public?
Investigator, I've got from both Assistant Mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court and District.
The truth is that we might never fully understand the extent of the damage, but Dolton's residents are definitely tired of it. The village is currently the focus of a federal investigation, and subpoenas are being sent out everywhere. Everyone is watching to see what will happen next. Will Henyard and Lacey be sentenced to jail time for their actions, or will they be able to get away with it because so many powerful people are watching? One thing is certain though, the people of Dolton deserve better. They deserve leaders who will prioritize their community rather than use it as their personal playground. Ultimately, the question is still how far this corruption will go and how long Henyard can hold onto power before the whole house of cards collapses. For now, all we can do is wait and see. It appears that more and more secrets will surface as the probe goes on. Will we find additional backdoor deals? More financial mismanagement? Who else in Henyard's inner circle will be implicated next? This story is obviously far from over, and every new piece of information that surfaces paints a clearer picture of corruption in Dolton. For the time being, though, Henyard is still in office and is clinging desperately to whatever authority she still has, She has even declared that she is running for a second term in spite of the numerous scandals that have surrounded her. In a statement that was posted online, she boldly declared, "I am running for re-election as mayor of Dolton." Can you believe that after everything that has gone down, she still thinks she has a chance to hold on to power? Talk about sheer audacity.
In court today over illegal appointments she allegedly made for several positions inside the village.
Henyard's re-election campaign is far from certain. She faces a number of opponents who are committed to repairing the mess she made. One of her main opponents is Jason House, a trustee who has been spearheading the battle against Henyard for months. House and his crew have dubbed their campaign the Clean House. It's understandable that Slate has been advocating for ethical reform and increased accountability in Dolton's administration given all the problems that have come to light. We look forward to Election Day and hope the residents will vote for us to continue doing the work we've been doing. He said it's clear that House and his team are ready to take Henyard head-on, unafraid to call out the chaos she's caused. But Henyard, the fighter, isn't backing down. In a recent interview, House didn't hold back when discussing Henyard's leadership, a politically motivated attack by her rivals, who say the accusations are nothing more than smear campaigns meant to depose her before the next election. She claims that they are aware of the truth and that she is committed to fighting for her village for the next 4 years while we wait for the next development in this ongoing drama. There is no doubt that Dolton will never be the same. Henyard's effects have rocked the village to its foundation, and the consequences of Lacey's actions will last for years. So what do you think? Will Henyard and Lacey be held accountable for their crimes at last? Or is this just the beginning of a much bigger corruption scandal? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this developing story. Until we meet again, thanks for watching Visual Vortex.